It's finally time for me to reveal one of the core pieces of my favorite Firestorm deck. Spiders, baby. Let's dive in. The brand new Divine Goddess of the Hearth, Hestia, is coming in big fashion in Firestorm as a feature in our double starter decks, as well as a ton of champions of Hestia. And I want to remind you guys that future sets are going to continue to support our incredible divines like Hestia and Hermes, but we've got a handful of new cards that Hestia is really going to enjoy today in this reveal, and you guys are going to love as well, so show some love. Make sure you guys get your pre-orders in. We've got incredible pre-order bonuses. Stellar Exaltair Champion of Hermes for every 50 you spend at shopelestrals.com, or you can get the exclusive Stellar Emphyrex Champion of Hestia available exclusively at your local game store, so make sure you guys hook it up there and get those pre-orders in. Yesterday was an incredible day. We talked about a bunch of brand new Champion of Hermes. I'm a big fan of those, but like I said, this is my favorite deck in Firestorm. I'm not saying it's the best deck, but it is very, very fun, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. So let's kick this off. We're going to talk about the first card today, which is none other than Hestia's signature counter rune, Hestia's Hearth. I love this artwork, by the way, but this is a one-cost counter rune for Hestia that says you can enchant a fire spirit from your underworld to a card on your field. So it basically pays for itself, right? You have the flexibility of being able to enchant anything in your field with a simple fire spirit. Then, if that card was Hestia or a champion of Hestia, then you may enchant an additional fire from your underworld to it. Man, oh man, I tell you what, the gears are turning on this one, as you can refill your Hestia and get more special casts. You can use this to enchant your existing champions of Hestia to set up for Ascensions. You can use this on fire receivers like Cinder, Comagma, or Ash Rabbit to be able to activate their effects in additional time. There are a lot of implications for this card in the future, and it actually pairs incredibly well with a card I'm going to be revealing today. But again, when I mentioned that future support for Hestia and for Hermes, there's opportunities where this card is going to shine in the future as new receivers get added to the game. But we'll start off small here in Firestorm with some really cool stuff. This card I'm very big fan of, and it doesn't require Hestia to be on the field. It just works better if Hestia or champions of Hestia are the beneficiary of these particular effects. So some really awesome stuff. I'm super stoked about it. Hestia's Hearth is coming. One other fun application for Hestia's Hearth is that you can enchant your Hestia to power up your Majersa. And we've got a brand new alternate art for Majersa in the booster boxes. This is a full art, alt art Majersa Champion of Hestia. I love this art, by the way, of Hestia riding Majersa and the three little fire bears hanging out with her on the top of this mountainside. What a beautiful painting by the Elite Four. This card is gorgeous. One thing I do want to mention is I've been reading your feedback about us doing box toppers of various Elestrals and then doing alt arts of them as well in the main set. And I did see some feedback saying that you guys would prefer that not be the case. I have heard the feedback. I will take it into consideration. Obviously, we've already planned out future sets, but we can make some adjustments and do some really cool stuff there. So I have heard your feedback, but I hope you guys are still excited for the incredible alt art, full arts of Majersa and many others coming in Firestorm. This is our best array of full arts yet, and I'm super excited for you guys to get your hands on them because they are a true treat to pull. All right, now it's time for us to reveal some brand new champions of Hestia, and like I said, my favorite deck in Firestorm, the Spiders. I'd like to introduce you to Warmite, champion of Hestia. This is legitimately one of my favorite cards in the set. This is a 3 attacker with 1 defense with 1 cost fire that says when this Warmite receives 1 or more fire spirit, you can target an Elestral and give it -3 attack until the next turn. So you have the opportunity when you cast this to drop the attack of something. So the 5 guys are getting obliterated by this because you're going to drop them down to 2. And of course, if you're able to Nexus or receive on your opponent's turn, maybe with a card like Hestia's Hearth, you can drop your opponent's attack stats significantly. So you're not it's not everything, but you're targeting one particular Elestral and dropping it by 3. And I do want to mention the synergy with Hestia's Hearth. If you play Hestia's Hearth and enchant your Warmite, you're activating a -3 drop on an Elestral, and then Hestia's Hearth allows you to enchant the Warmite a second time, which means you get to drop another Elestral's attack by 3, or the same Elestral's attack by 6. That is massive, and this is a crazy combo. When a player casts Hestia's Hearth, you can return up to 2 fire from your underworld to your spirit deck. If you play Warmite, and then you play Hestia's Hearth, you are not only healing 2 from Warmite's effect, you are enchanting 2 spirits from your underworld to Warmite, and you're dropping their attack by 6. Absolutely nuts. This card has one of the most insane battle tricks Elestrals have ever introduced. It is insanely powerful, the fact that you're healing off of Hestia's Hearth, and you're able to drop attack stats. Opponents are going to be so scared to attack into Warmite, champion of Hestia, because of the implications of this receive effect. Absolutely bonkers, and it's about to get even better. This next card is the ascension to that Warmite. It is Flarachne, champion of Hestia, with a devastating effect. This has 5 attack and 7 defense, and it says that you can disenchant a fire spirit from your Hestia to search your deck for an Arachne's Lair and add it to your hand, and I'll reveal Arachne's Lair shortly. During each end phase, that's your end phase and your opponent's end phase, an opponent must expend spirits equal to the number of Elestrals on their field if Arachne's Lair is enchanted. So you have the immediate search into Arachne's Lair with this Flarachne when paired with Hestia, and then you have the flexibility of burning your opponent every single turn, the end of your turn and the end of the opponent's turn, if they have Elestrals on the field, and you're burning them based on how many they have. This card can be really, really impactful in the late game. And don't forget, with Hestia, you have the flexibility of specialing something out and then ascending right into Flarachne, disenchanting off a Hestia, grabbing Arachne's Lair, and you can activate this card effect combo right away. Absolutely massive, and there's some really cool implications with the combination of fire and wind that I think can be explored in this set. I can tell you, I tested a lot of this deck, and I love putting a bag of winds on this because it basically means you win the game at that point if you can pull all that off. But man, Flarachne, champion of Hestia, is going to add a new dimension to these particular decks and things that you can explore. And a big shout out to my man Shady Penguin for revealing the new Flarachne early. Make sure you guys go check out his video. And there's a whole new archetype that you'll be able to explore in Firestorm with this next card, Arachne's Lair. Arachne's Lair is a brand new stadium card that has a simple but very effective effect. This is a 1-cost fire stadium that says when a player casts Warmite, Frostmite, Kitemite, Flarachne, Polarachne, or Parachne, that player must draw a card. Let me break down how the Spiders deck works. You slap your Arachne's Lair down, and then you just funnel the field with your little spiders, your Frostmites, your Warmites, your Kitemites. You cast them out, and you're able to trade battle almost every turn because Warmite can drop attack, base set Warmite, or the brand new Warmite champion of Hestia can pressure your opponents and drop their attacks, or your Frostmite can deal with defense positional Elestrals, or your Kitemite can do something I'm going to reveal in tomorrow's video. There's a lot of really cool implications for this deck archetype, and you're going to be drawing resources every time you cast one of your spiders, giving you infinite possibilities to stock up your Counter Rune row, to protect your spiders, and ultimately make a big push in the late to mid game. Very, very awesome stuff, man. I think this card is super fun. Like I said, it's one of my favorite decks to build personally. I don't know how well it's gonna do in a full meta game. I did pretty well in our testing, but this is a lot of fun, and I think it's gonna be a really fun deck for players to explore because it's so different. You're really gonna use stat modification with your Warmites, with your Frostmites. You're gonna be able to put some pressure on there, get tremendous advantage every single turn, and then you obviously have some really cool implications if you wanted to go the route with Flarachne and of course Hestia, or you can go the route of like Hestia's Hearth with your Warmite, get some receivers in there like Comagma for draw power or Ash Rabbit for resources. A lot of really cool things you can do with Arachne's Lair. I'm super excited about it, and if you're coming to Dallas, I'm going to be bringing my Arachne deck, so we're going to have a lot of fun there, and I can't wait to play against you guys with this deck because it's, like I said, it's one of my favorites. I love this deck. I legitimately cannot oversell the impact of Warmite plus Hestia's Hearth. What a crazy blowout card that is. So much advantage if you're able to generate those two cards together because of just the amount of power you're putting out. You're essentially effectively beating an 8 attacker with Warmite and Hestia's Hearth, and you're healing multiple spirits in the process. It can legitimately flip the game upside down, and that now leads the way to our next reverse stellar for the set, and I'm putting out a bounty right now. I want 3 of these bad boys real quick. Warmite, champion of Hestia, coming in Firestorm with a brand new stellar. This is the first time we're doing this. We're actually recoloring Warmite from base set for a new stellar. I want to be clear that this is not specific to the champion of Hestia Warmite, although that's an interesting route to go. I simply decided that I wanted to change Warmite stellar. If I'm being honest, I had seen some sketches from one of my artists on a Flarachne stellar that we may be announcing very soon, and when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is really cool. We need to go back and change Warmite, because Warmite stellar from base set wasn't nearly as cool as this one, in my opinion. This is like legitimately one of my favorite stellars now. I love this card so much. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, because Warmite, champion of Hestia, is coming as a reverse stellar in Firestorm. You can pull out of your starter decks, your booster boxes, your blister packs. Make sure you guys stock up because you're going to want this one. Don't you dare miss out on our pre-order bonuses, of course. Exaltair, champion of Hermes, LGS exclusive, Emphyrix, champion of Hestia. Amazing spiders coming today. I got more spider reveals for you guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg about the spiders because Kitemite and Parachne are coming, and boy, oh boy, are they pretty awesome. And I think you guys are going to like them a lot, and it's going to bring this spider deck into full perspective on what it can do because it is very, very cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Get your pre-orders in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another epic reveal.